Hello Sofa Squad. Today we're going to be talking about Anthony Todt and some of the things that he said to a reporter when he finally spoke out and broke his silence. Now, Anthony is still incarcerated, and this actually took place in March, this conversation, and it took place via phone, so it was a very short conversation because they do have limits while being incarcerated. Now, overall, this case literally is feeling like Letitia Stalk 2.0 to me. Clearly, they are both horrific cases, each in their own right, and at the center of it are these people, Letitia and hers, and Anthony Todt in this one. Now, Anthony still stands by his innocence, and he is basically like, look, I'm gonna set the record straight once the trial's over. Honestly, I'm not sure what he thinks is gonna happen after that, but it will be interesting to see. So let's go ahead and start talking about it. So like I said, he ended up speaking to this reporter from the day on the telephone on March 15th. Now, Anthony seems to be one of these type people that's like very anti-media, fake news type person, yada, yada, yada. All that's fine and dandy, but it also adds to the element of why he's only really speaking to this smaller publication. Now, Anthony would tell them that, he really appreciates their integrity and that he's happy to see that there are wannabe journalists out there who actually want like the facts of the case, like the truth. And he added that he appreciates their, small town flair. Now, he told the reporters that he's been keeping a notepad with little notes about all the things that the media has gotten wrong about what happened to his family. Now, just that statement alone, again, I'm like, I bet if him and Letitia compared notes in this regard, they would probably have the same damn information. Now, the reporters would write, his really only admission about the events around his family, and not really admission to it, but just acknowledging it, was when he used the descriptive word of, it's a real tragedy. So I do think that's interesting. Obviously, his lawyer is going to be like, do not talk to anyone, do not talk about this case. That's just a given. Now, again, he said he's going to wait till after the trial. Now, he's saying that the trial is scheduled for September 27th in Osceola County, Florida. So I have a feeling September is going to be a very busy month. Now, if you follow the videos I do, you'll know that the Killer Clown trial is allegedly going to trial in September. So I might be like, squad, we're going to need one person over here on the clowns, one person over here on Anthony to keep up with all this damn nonsense. Now, Todd said he plans on only trying his case in the court of law and not in the media. Now, we see this all the time, obviously, any case you name that's high profile, Vallow, Letitia, him, all these, the media has a heyday with them, and it does end up doing that. And so what I find interesting, though, is in these situations where the perpetrators want to pivot all the wrong being done to them, and it's like, through the media, through the public opinion and all this, when usually there's some kind of evidence before we even get to trial. And I get it, innocent until proven guilty. There are some cases where the evidence already is like, I don't know how you plan on talking your way out of this one. I don't care how the media spins it. It ain't looking good. Now, again, he told the day that he's like, what? After the trial, I'm going to give y'all an exclusive interview. Okay, I'm curious to see what he has to say. Now, he went on in this part, and he's like, look, I'm telling you, you know what? Y'all fly down here. I'll save everything for y'all. I will do, this exclusive interview. And then he said something that was interesting to me. He's like, I don't know how all this kind of stuff works, I guess public relations or whatever. And he said, I'm somebody who operates behind the scenes. And so a comment like that, which again could be, taken as many different ways, but I'm also like, okay, it's interesting how these people make themselves look guiltier by trying to describe how they're not guilty. Because I'm like, well, yeah, I'm sure you do operate behind the scenes. For God's sakes, look at what you allegedly did to your family. Come on, that took a lot of behind the scenes working. So I'm like, thank you for describing your process. I'm sure that will come back to bite you in the ass. Now, he also told them that his word is bond, like he is there you go. Mind you, let's never mind the fact that he was already under investigation, for all this fraud that he was doing. That's a whole other thing though. They wouldn't have stumbled upon this if it wasn't for serving warrants and something else. So I'm not really sure I'm buying into his whole, I'm a man of my word is my bond, I'm very trustworthy. Now, The Day has a podcast out about this. It's called Looking for the Todd Family, and Todd did tell them, he's like, look, you know what, I'm trying to warn my family members about this this before it all comes out and and kind of prepare them for that. So I have not listened to that podcast yet. I did not know about it till I read this article. And by the way, the article is linked down below if you want to read the whole thing in detail. And I'll put a little link for the podcast down there too, because I'm like, I want to hear this damn podcast now. Now, he again goes on to these reporters. He's like, I wish I could tell you everything. I wish I could tell you the details of what really happened, but darn it, I've got to wait to do this in the court of law, but he's like, look, the truth hasn't come out yet about what really happened. And he does say the only one that can tell my story is me. Now, he said that even though he's willing to, answer all these questions after the trial, it's going to be an emotional time because of opening all these wounds and whatnot. Now, he also did say, and this was in regards to like his incarceration and whatnot, that he's a strong person and that he has the support of his sister and his family, which I thought that was an interesting statement. I would love to know those dynamics of like what's going on, what story is he selling to people that like, look, this is really what happened, because again, to me, it doesn't look good. Now I am curious to see like, okay, well, what's up? Now he also said and kind of rounded it out with, look, the people who know me, they know who I am. And so, hey, I don't personally know him, so I'm curious to learn who he is, because from what I'm seeing from here, I don't want to have coffee with this guy. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Just like I was kind of like making some comparison to the Letitia thing, and I do think when you stand back and look at this type behavior as a whole, and so first of all, remember when Letitia was being interviewed, she had not been arrested yet, and she was being interviewed, and she's like placing all this blame on the media and other people and wanting apologies and all this stuff, when obviously at that point the truth hadn't come out as to, or all this information that was shocking information. Now it's interesting that Anthony Todt is going the same route, of like, look, the truth isn't out there. I don't want to be tried by the media, and I'm going to have the real story and this, that, and the other. Y'all, I would not be surprised at this point if he's going to pin it on Letitia and Letitia's going to pin it on him, because they each seem to have these mysterious, perpetrators who did this, and somehow they each got wrapped up into this by some huge national government conspiracy out to get little old them. So, you know what? We're just going to wait. I think this trial is going to be heartbreaking, number one, because of what took place to his family and the family dog, let's add. When I say his family, we're also talking about very small children. Letitia, same thing. It's going to be like, oh my God. So, we all at this point know what happened to poor little Gannon. And so it's going to be heartbreaking in that way. Now, obviously, hopefully justice will prevail in this. Hopefully truth and answers will come to light so that these people who allegedly may or may not have done these things, can't keep trying to get out of their actions and the consequences and running these families' names through the mud. Now, if you want to watch more videos by me, be sure and click the stuff that's popping up. If you want to see me talk about movie reviews, mostly scary movie reviews, that type thing, but there will be a little bit of a variety in there, check the link to my new channel out down below. It is called Slice, Spice, and Dice Movie Reviews. And so it's there. I have one up right now on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Anyways, thank you to all of the mods, the supporters, and the watchers and viewers. I really appreciate you always being here. I couldn't have this channel without you. And until next time, I'll see you then.